And today marks the start of our MLB Best Bets daily here on the channel. Today is opening day 2025, and we're going to be doing best bets every single day of the MLB season. Now, if you watch our NBA predictions daily or our college basketball best bets, this is going to be different than both of those. We are going to be picking money lines. We're probably going to do 2 money lines a day for these MLB Best Bets, 1 NRFI a day, 1 player prop a day, and 1 Washington Nationals bet a day. Reasoning, I've watched every Washington Nationals baseball game since 2017. It's been a while. So, and I've been a fan of the Nationals my entire life. So I think I know what I'm talking about with the Nationals. We're going to do a daily segment every day with them, and then 4 other best bets on top of that every single day here on the channel. Now, before we get into the best bets, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. We're going to be doing this daily. We did this daily with college basketball. We're doing this with the NBA right now as well. Let's get it going. The MLB season starts off today, every single day here on the channel, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. on the East Coast. Of course, daily NBA predictions still on the channel, daily college basketball best bets still on the channel, and also we do weekly UFC predictions over on our other channel, Greedo Plays MMA. Go subscribe over there for weekly MMA content as well. That is linked in the description down below. Okay, let's get on now to the first of our 5 best bets for the MLB today here on opening day. We kick things off in Toronto, Ontario, Canada for the Baltimore Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays. Our first pick of the day, and we're going to mix and match throughout the day, obviously, between player prop, NRFI, and the Nationals. We start things off, we're going in chronological order. We're starting with the Baltimore Orioles money line here in Toronto. I think the Orioles are one of the best teams in the MLB. I think they are. I mean, I think that's apparent, obviously, from last season. Now, their postseason run last year just sucked, let's just be honest, losing to the Tigers in the first round. But this team, and I know they didn't do much in the offseason, they really didn't do anything. This team is still going to beat the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, baseball is tough to bet on, and that's why we need to pick our spots this season, and that's why I switched it up from going from just 5 straight money lines, because I think it's really hard to pick that. Obviously, every day we're going to have 2 money lines here on the channel at the bare minimum. And obviously, you got to look at pitching matchups and whatnot with baseball as well. There's 162 games. The worst team of all time, one of them last year, the Chicago White Sox, still won 50 games, right? I think 40, something like that, right? That's just what happens in baseball. I think this is a good spot for the Orioles. I know they're on the road. If you look back to what they did on opening day last year, they dominated the Los Angeles Angels. Now, the Jays this year, I think, are better than the Angels last year. I don't think the Jays are going to be much this year. I don't think a lot of people are. I mean, obviously, Vladimir Guerrero, Bo Bichette likely both dealt at the deadline. They added Max Scherzer, who's probably going to be the number 2 on this team, which, I'll probably be number 3, Scherzer will be. I like Max a lot, obviously former National. I don't know what he's doing at this point in his career. Max has publicly said his arm is hurting and his whole body hurts every time he pitches. So what are we doing? I mean, what is there left to prove? I don't know. He's already won 2 World Series. He's a certified Hall of Famer. I don't get it. Anyways, tonight on the mound for the Blue Jays, ESPN has it as Jose Berrios. I think he's starting over Gausman, so it is what it is. Yeah, Gausman's going tomorrow. Scherzer's going on Saturday, so we get Berrios versus Eflin tomorrow. Obviously, Zach Eflin, the number 1 for the O's, but if we're betting on the O's, we are betting on the team around, obviously, the starting pitching. No Gunnar Henderson yet, right? Yeah, Henderson is going to start the regular season on the IR, which sucks because Gunnar, I think, is top 5 player in the sport, undoubtedly. But still, you look at the rest of this team, you've got Adley behind the dish, you got Mountcastle and O'Hearn, the platoon at first base, depending on the day, obviously. The other will likely DH. You get Jackson Holiday. Jordan Westbrook had a really good season last year. The outfield, Kowser, Mullins. Tyler O'Neill has hit a home run on opening day the last 5 opening days. Now, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say he's going to hit another one tonight, but I'm just saying, if history has any indication, Tyler O'Neill always starts the season out hot. I'm not sold on the Blue Jays, man. I'm really not. Again, and Berrios is not horrible, but you look at this entire team, they add Jeff Hoffman in the offseason to be their closer. They get Santander from Baltimore, which is a really good get. But again, I just don't know what the outlook of this team is. And again, this is game 1 of 162, but I feel like if the Jays get off to a cold start, which I'm anticipating them doing so, I think they're going to blow this thing up. Again, what do they do with Santander's contract? I don't know, but I think again with Bichette, with Vlad, both those guys are going to leave in the offseason anyway, right? You might as well get the most that you can out of them if you're not going to be in contention for the playoffs, which I don't think they're going to be. So yes, they made some moves in the offseason, getting Scherzer, getting Hoffman, getting Santander, but ultimately, where are the Jays at the end of the year? I don't think they're in a really good spot. I think the O's get him tonight. Zach Eflin obviously going to be a big part of this effort tonight for us. Starting tonight for the O's. Eflin, 30 years of age, making the start tonight. Last year at Tampa Bay, he was pretty solid, right? 4.09 ERA. Obviously gets traded to the O's. 2.6 ERA. He was one of the better starters in baseball at the Orioles last season, at least in the second half. I think this is a fine matchup for us here with the Orioles. I know no Gunnar Henderson tonight, but the lineup is they still mash the entire lineup. I'm taking the Baltimore Orioles to go to Toronto and win on opening day. Give me Orioles money line here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We go on to our next game, and we go to the Washington Nationals bet of the day. Now, again, this will be player props on either side of the equation in a Nationals game. But today, it's opening day. Let's start it off the right way with a Nationals victory on opening day. Something that doesn't happen all that often in Washington, D.C. But I'm telling you guys, today is the day for change for the Washington Nationals. They do not usually win on opening day. The Davey Martinez, resume on opening day has been very poor. I mean, we've seen losses after losses after losses on opening day. But I think it's different this year, and I just think the Nationals as a whole are different this year as well. Davey Martinez has won once in his entire stint as Washington Nationals manager on opening day. It was that win over the Braves in 21 that kind of gets forgotten about because they proceeded to lose 5 straight games after. That's the only one that they won on opening day since Martinez took over. I think the Nationals are so improved, man. I really think so. Now, they didn't make the splash in the offseason like, a lot of people thought they were going to. But I do honestly still like the team. I really do. And now, again, I will hype this team up a little bit more than the media will, obviously, because I'm a Nationals guy. But I think the moves of getting Josh Bell back, bringing in Nathaniel Lau, I think those are big moves for this team. Again, no Bregman, obviously, was signed, but I think the Nats are going to be, no Bregman, no Pete Alonso in the offseason, but I think a guy like potentially Vladimir Guerrero might be coming over here next year, and I think it's a step in the right direction. So I really like what the Nats are bringing out. I mean, the first 3 in the lineup, man, Abrams, Cruz, Wood. I mean, you can't not get excited for that. And then I think they're probably going to go Lau, Bell, Garcia. All right. They're going to go probably DeYoung, Ruiz, Young. Not against it. Now, Paul DeYoung, we'll see. I'm hoping he's more Jeimer Candelario than Maikel Franco was on the Washington Nationals. But I don't mind it. I really don't. And then you get Mackenzie Gore on the bump today. A guy who should be an all-star this season. Mackenzie Gore has made that jump. Didn't have the best second half of the year last year, but Mackenzie Gore, a really solid starting pitcher for this Nationals team. And I know, they're out against it tonight, taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. It sucks every time watching the Phillies play baseball, and hell, we're going to see it watching the Mets this year as well with the Nationals. I got to watch opening day. I got to watch Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, and Kyle Schwarber come to Nats Park on opening day. And they're not obviously playing for the home team. It sucks. I get it. It sucks. But I think the Nats are able to... Last year, they weren't horrible against Zach Wheeler. They weren't horrible. And I think they're able to get going against Wheeler early. My bold, I'm not going to say this is an official prediction or official bet for today. I think the Nationals score in the first inning. I think it's either an Abrams leadoff home run or a Cruz double and a Wood hit after that. I have a feeling Abrams is swinging first pitch and he's going to send one out to start the year. I don't know. Abrams swings first pitch all the time. I have a weird feeling. I truly think it's a different era of Washington Nationals baseball now. I really think it is. The losing, guys, they haven't been in the playoffs. They haven't had a winning season since 2019. I think that changes this year. I think the Nationals over-under on wins this year is a lock. I mean, I really think the Nats are getting to 500, and I think there's a chance they get the 6th wild card, or the last wild card, the 6th seed in the NL. That's my bold prediction of the year, and I think the Nats do beat the Philadelphia Phillies tonight. We're sick of losing in D.C., and I think it's finally going to happen. I like the veteran presence with Josh Bell, with Nathaniel Lau. Again, the young core on this team. We're talking about Cruz. We're talking about Abrams, Wood, Young. Ruiz has got to step it up this season. He has to. Luis Garcia is one of the most overlooked second basemen in all of the game. Turn me up on the Nationals. The bullpen, we'll see. brought back all-star Kyle Finnegan. Jose A. Ferrer is a very good reliever for this team. I think, again, Jarlin Susana has to be coming soon, and I'd like to see him officially move to a bullpen role. But we get Mackenzie Gordon Knight, who's by far the best guy in this Nationals rotation. That consists of him, Jake Irvin, Trevor Williams, Mike Soroka, and Mitchell Parker. Unfortunately, DJ Herr's likely out for the season with Tommy John, just like Josiah Gray last year, and Josiah probably comes back, August this season, but probably in a bullpen role. Give me the Nationals here. I think they beat the Philadelphia Phillies at home. Yes, the Phillies have a great lineup, but I think the Nats get them tonight. All I ask for the Washington Nationals to start the year is they just win the first series. Just win it, and they go to Toronto next week. Just got to start building some wins, man. Just somehow. Washington Nationals money line. We're not picking Washington Nationals money line all the time. Trust me, we will have player props every day, but for the most part. But today I had to do it. Nationals money line. No Nationals game tomorrow, so we'll be back on the Nationals best bet starting on Saturday, or continuing on Saturday. Okay, next game we go to the NRFI of the day. Now, okay, I'll be honest. I don't bet NRFIs that much. I just don't. I don't like them all that much, but I get it. It's a big bet that a lot of people make every single day. So I'm trying to get into my NRFI bag here, and I'm going Angels White Sox NRFI. You might laugh, and I understand why you might laugh. That's fine. This is the worst matchup of the day between the two worst teams playing today. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the Rockies play tomorrow, so that's why they don't count. Angels White Sox. This is White Sox are team 30 in the MLB. I'd say Rockies are team 29, and I'd say Angels are team 28. I understand. We just need 6 outs. And that's the case for all NRFIs. But it starts with Sean Burke, who is debuting tonight for the Chicago White Sox. In his MLB debut, he gets opening day for Chicago. Now, I looked at a bunch of NRFIs today, right? I looked at, Pirates Marlins. that felt like a layup, but obviously we're getting minus 190 on that with Sandy Alcantara and Paul Skeens. I looked at another one between Turk Skubal and Blake Snell, but that's obviously minus 185 as well. There's no value on any of these games. The only value that you can really get today that makes sense, I think, is this one. I'm staying away from Red Sox Rangers because I think there's a chance the Rangers get to Garrett Crochet early. That's all I'm saying with that. I don't mind this for Angels White Sox, okay? Because guys, what I boil this down to, this is minus 135. That's all and it all comes down to Mike Trout. I'm serious. That's all it comes down to. Do we think Mike Trout hits a home run in his first step out of the season? If the answer is no, then you take the minus 135. Sean Burke, again, we'll see. It's his first major league start, if I'm not mistaken, I think. Or did he pitch them last year? I could have sworn someone said he was White Sox Twitter was going crazy. That was his first start. It's his first opening day start. He pitched 4 games at the end of the year last year. He's technically a rookie. I don't mind the stuff. I don't think he's horrible. But again, all we're asking is 3 outs. And you look at the lineups on both sides. I'm not concerned about the White Sox scoring. So the Angels are starting Yusei Kikuchi. Okay. Started the year last year with the Jays, ended up with the Astros. Wasn't bad for Houston, 2.7 ERA. Now here you go. He is the opening day starter for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I think he can get 3 outs. I think the biggest fear here, though, is with the Angels scoring. With obviously you add Jorge Soler into the lineup now, right? We got, it's going to be what? Trout's our biggest factor here. Soler, Shanuel, if it gets to him. Moncada's probably be deeper in the lineup. Again, I think it just comes down to Mike Trout. I really think it does. So can Sean Burke get Mike Trout out? And can he get Mike Trout to stay in the park? I like our chances here because I think the Angels are very home run dependent here. I don't think they're going to put together an inning. I think it's either, okay, Trout hits a home run, Soler hits one out. I don't think they're going to piece together a couple hits, and I don't trust the White Sox to do anything against Kikuchi. And again, it's not like you say is the best, but Luis Robert obviously is probably going to be batting third. Are we scared of, Andrew Vaughn, potential Corey Lee? Plate appearance, Michael A. Taylor. I'm just not. Yeah, Robert could go yard. It's not a horrible matchup for him. But on the first at bat of the year, I don't think it's happening. Games in Chicago, it's not a horrible pitcher's park. I think the White Sox and the Angels are able to keep each other to no runs tonight. It all comes down to Sean Burke and Yusei Kikuchi. But for me, I was looking at all the games today, all the games that made sense. Minus 135 does feel like the best value. Again, it comes down to Mike Trout, and I think Sean Burke is able to get that out. Huge first opening day start, but I'm taking the White Sox Angels no runs in the first inning at 110. Just need 6 outs. We just need 6 outs, and we need to keep Mike Trout in the park. Because even if Trout does get a hit, gets a double, Vince Soler needs to put one together as well. I don't mind it for 135. Give me the NRFI for this game. We go on to our 4th best bet of the video, going back to one of the 2 money lines today. Again, doing this in order of when the games actually happen. We have the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Chicago Cubs at 7-10. I'm taking the Arizona Diamondbacks money line. Okay, I'm not really going to put too much weight into the Cubs' 2 games in Japan, right? They played him against the Dodgers. They lost both those, obviously, right? I mean, couldn't get any runs on the board on the first game against Yamamoto. His second game against Roki Sasaki, not their best outing. They lost 6-3. I'm not really putting too much into that. I believe, right? Yeah, they're going Justin Steele again. So Steele pitched the last game that they played, and he's going to go again tonight. And Iminaga is going to go Saturday. Jameson Taillon is going to go Friday. So it is what it is. They start the year on a 4-game set before they make Sacramento history by going to Sacramento to take on the A's next Monday. Anyways, they're going Justin Steele again tonight. Okay, you know, Steele's first game against the Dodgers. It is what it is. Not a horrible night. No, actually, it was a pretty bad night. It was pretty bad. Yeah, 5 runs. Yeah, it wasn't great. I'm just comparing it to because it is the Dodgers and with the Diamondbacks having their lineup. Could have been worse. No, it's probably kind of the worst it could get. Yeah, I think the Diamondbacks are the better team. They're going Zach Gallen tonight instead of Corbin Burns. Burns is going to be going tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. No, Burns is going to start on the road. Okay, Burns is going to start against the Yankees on Tuesday. All right, so going Zach Gallen tonight. I like the matchup for the Diamondbacks. Steele again wasn't incredible in the Yankees in the Dodgers game. I'm okay with Zach Gallen in this spot. And I don't mind the order of the Arizona Diamondbacks, well, the lineup of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I mean, we know how elite Ketel Marte is. He's one of the best players in all of baseball, right? Corbin Carroll is due for a better year this year, right? Didn't really perform at his best ability last season. I think Corbin Carroll's going to be much better this year. The outfield, obviously, Gurriel, McCarthy, and him. I believe they're DHing Pavin Smith, if I'm not mistaken. They probably will. Josh Naylor is now the first baseman of this team. All right, Josh Bell out, Josh Naylor in. Gabby Moreno behind the dish. Eugenio Suarez at third now. I just like the Diamondbacks better than the Cubs. We saw the Cubs really struggle to score in their first 2 games against the Dodgers, man. I mean, you know, Kyle Tucker gets the big, free agency pickup. He goes 1 for 8 in that series, in that 2-game set. Seiya Suzuki, obviously, we expect him to get back on the right track. But, I mean, hey, Seiya starts the year 0 for 8. Kyle Tucker starts the year 1 for 8. They bring in Matt Shaw. Matt Shaw got called up from the minors. I think that's a good pick. That's a good add for them, obviously, a good addition to their team. So we'll see how he performs. But just, it was a really bad, all-around hitting effort out of the Cubs in Japan, with Tucker going 1 for 8, Suzuki going 0 for 8, Ian Happ went, 2 for 7, whatever, this, that could be worse. I don't trust the Cubs to get many hits against Zach Gallen tonight, and I do like the Diamondbacks lineup better, and on top of that, the game is at Chase Field in Arizona. I think everything kind of points to an Arizona Diamondbacks victory here at home, and I think they get Chicago, and I think they make the Cubs 0-3 to start the season. Again, this isn't based off of their 2 losses in Japan. I just feel like the Diamondbacks are the better baseball team this year. Unlike a lot of people, I don't think the Cubs are that good. I get it. Kyle Tucker's a big signing for them. They have Justin Turner now too. I don't think Chicago's an elite team at all, and I don't think they're an elite team at all in the NL Central. I think they're probably, personally, I think they're the 3rd best team in this. If that, are they 3rd? I'd say their ceiling's 3rd this year in the NL Central. I really think it is. I mean, we'll see who wins it. I'd like to see the Pirates get it, but I don't know if their bats are going to be able to keep up all year long. They're going to look real good today, though, against the Marlins. Anyways, give me the Cubs to lose. I like the Arizona Diamondbacks at home. I'm at Chase Field, minus 135 for the Diamondbacks at home. Give me Zach Gallen and the Snakes to just out-hit the Cubs tonight. The Dodgers got on Steele. I think the Diamondbacks are going to get on Steele. Give me Arizona at home in the opener. We go to our final best bet of the video, and here is our daily player prop. We are going to the nightcap, same time start as Cubs Diamondbacks, but we have the Athletics going to Seattle, Washington to take on the Seattle Mariners. Our best bet is Lawrence Butler, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBI. So obviously you can get this done with 1 home run, right? Because that's a hit, run, and an RBI, right? Okay, I don't know how well the A's are going to hit tonight against Logan Gilbert. We know how good Gilbert is, right? All-star last season. The guy is elite. Okay, I'm not going to deny that. You look at Lawrence Butler versus Logan Gilbert career-wise, only 3 at-bats. Lawrence Butler is 1 for 3. He is 1 for 3 at the double, okay? Guys, the body of work Lawrence Butler put together last season was incredible, right? I watched a lot of A's games last season. I went to a lot of A's games last year with their last year in the Coliseum. Lawrence Butler started the year horribly last year. He was absolutely god-awful. You know, dude starts the year like 180 through the first couple months. He turns it around. He finished the year batting 265. Incredible stuff. 22 home runs out of Butler. The dude was an absolute animal last season for the Sacramento Athletics. Now, I get why this line is, only what I get why it's plus 125 for 1.5. Because Butler is likely going to be leading off tonight. If not, he'll be batting second behind Blade. But I'm assuming it will be Butler, Blade, Rooker. I would think. But that's fine. Again, all it takes, guys, is a double from Butler and then just a base knock after that. And then boom, there we have it. It also could just take a home run as well. But I think the more likely case, again, is Butler gets himself in a scoring position. He does have speed. He can steal some bags if you need him to. But all we need is Butler to get on and just, Brent Rooker to hit him in, JJ Bleday. It's very doable. I really think it's a very doable get, and I think it's great value, too, at plus 125. I really like it. I know the A's might struggle against Logan Gilbert. We know Gilbert's really good. I thought about taking A's money line here, because this game will probably be 1-0. I'm serious. We're hoping for more from the A's. But, this will be a low-scoring affair for the most part. But I do think when the A's break through, it is going to be because of Butler. This guy was the huge spark for this entire team last year. We thought it was going to be Zach Geloff last season for the A's. Obviously, he took a step down in his second season with Oakland last year. But now in Sacramento, and don't get me started about Sutter Health Park. I really think Lawrence Butler and Brent Rooker are going to have huge years for the A's this year. The air is thin in Sacramento. It's not the deepest park as well. I really think Butler and Rooker are going to have huge seasons, and I think the A's might win the AL West this year. The Rangers should be the favorite, but I think the A's might sneak into a postseason spot. Yeah, I think they're better than the Mariners, guys. And I'm not going to dive deeper into the Mariners because this is just solely based on Logan Gilbert and Lawrence Butler tonight. But guys, the Mariners bats are horrible. We know that. That's why I thought about taking A's money line because yeah, the pitching of the Mariners is great, but we've seen this over the last 3 seasons. They can't swing the bat. I'm talking about, and it all starts with Julio. Don't get me wrong, it starts with Julio, but Julio Rodriguez, Rosarena, Victor Robles, Cal Raleigh. They got to get going offensively. They're starting Ryan Bliss tomorrow night, I think. I don't know. I don't trust the Mariners bats at all. But anyways, this play is about Lawrence Butler. And I do think Lawrence Butler is going over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI. Again, like I said earlier, a home run does it. Or a double, and then a knock by JJ Bleday, a knock by Brent Rooker, help Miguel Andujar. I don't know. Andujar doesn't really match up that well with Gilbert, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's been pretty bad his career. He's 0 for 3. Okay, I assume they had more ABs. But I like Lawrence Butler. Very minimal plate appearances against Logan Gilbert. I get it. You look at the rest of this A's team. Yeah, they've struggled against Logan Gilbert. As a team, they're batting .09 against Logan Gilbert. Okay, but the one guy, again, I know it's a small sample size, but Lawrence Butler does, he's batting .333. It's 1 for 3, but still, right? Brent Rooker has kind of struggled against Gilbert. He's 1 for 13. Shea Langeliers is 2 for 14. JJ Bleday is 2 for 12. But I'm serious. New year, new athletics, and it all starts with Lawrence Butler. So if Butler is able to put himself in scoring position, which I do expect to happen, I think everything's going to fall through. So it's going to be Lawrence Butler over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI. At plus 125, I think for the value, it's a great play. Give me Lawrence Law Dog Butler to come through for us up in the Pacific Northwest at T-Mobile Park against Logan Gilbert and the Mariners. And hey, we could get this deeper in the game as well, right? It doesn't have to come off of Logan Gilbert. The pen out the Mariners, not bad. Obviously, Andres Munoz is really good. But other than Andres Munoz, what? Are we scared of Taylor Saucedo? We're scared of Trent Thornton? No, we're not, okay? I think Matt Brash is out still, right? So could get this later in the game too with Lawrence Butler. We're guaranteed 9 innings too. I don't mind it. Give me Lawrence Butler here. And folks, that will do it for our 5 best bets for the MLB kicking off here on opening day on March 27th. If you have not yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like for more daily MLB best bets here on the channel. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow again for more daily MLB best bets. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.